We're back. Happy Wednesday, 9th day of October, 2024. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host. It's pretty mild. If you haven't been outside yet, it's early, you probably haven't. It's 54 degrees, pretty mild, all things considered. We're going to be a little bit cooler today. There's a trough of low pressure bringing in some cooler air off the coast of British Columbia. Does that mean we have to switch to the Celsius system? I don't know. Anyway, it's going to cool us down a few degrees today. We hit 75 yesterday. We'll be more like 70 or 71 today. No big deal. Pretty chilly, though, overnight low tonight. Temperatures will drop down to about normal. It's going to be above normal, but still, it's kind of hard to explain. But 67 for tomorrow seems about normal. That's still warmer than normal. They're going to warm right back up again. Forecast details are coming up. As you can see behind me, we have a few clouds. It's going to be cloudy most of the morning, but then the sun will do its job in the afternoon, just in the nick of time. News, yes, sports. Kraken began their campaign at home at Climate Pledge Arena on a Tuesday afternoon. Well, that's, ESPN calls the shots. We want to televise you on national TV, so we're going to tell you when you can play. Unfortunately, they probably wish they hadn't. They lost. Highlights of that. All the prep action from last night, there was a lot. Usually is. Speaking of sports, in the back half of the program, our good friend Austin Trade, the broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Wild, will talk about the weekend that was, the weekend that's coming up, and David Rayfield will be joining us as well because his big camp out on the deck at the Town Toyota Center to raise money for Military Appreciation Night. Sell tickets specifically through David himself, and some of those proceeds are going to go to local military organizations. David's going to do it again because David is crazy. We'll have Austin and David in the back half of the program. And let's go. Let's do our tour. We got some good stuff for you this morning from our cameras, our PTZ cameras. We can pan them, we can tilt them, we can zoom them. That's the acronym, and I'm a big fan of acronyms. And there is the Wenatchee Valley. We're still a ways away, of course, from sunrise, 10 minutes away, 7:12 this morning. Sunset tonight, 6:23. Still losing about 3 hours, about 3 minutes. If we lost 3 hours of daylight in a day, that would freak me out. No, 3 minutes and about 20 seconds of daylight less than it was yesterday, then the day before that, then the day before that. It's 11 hours and 11 minutes of daylight today on this Wednesday. Next up on our tour around north central Washington is up to Lake Wenatchee. Looking beautiful up there. Great place to visit this time of the year. The leaves are already getting changing colors pretty dramatically in many locations. Of course, it starts in the upper valley, Leavenworth, Plain, Lake Wenatchee. Their leaves start to turn first, and then gradually, as you go down the valley towards Wenatchee, the leaves will slowly do their jobs as autumn is now fully entrenched, but you wouldn't know it by the weather, would you? Camera number 3. William E. Goat Jr., Billy Goat chimes in again. That's way off in the upper left-hand corner of your screen, that little protuberance. That's Canada. That's pretty impressive. Well, it's over 4,000 feet in elevation. That's about as zoomed out as we can get. Look at that stunning view. Would you like to have a house there? Of course, your winter commute could be a little dicey. Good morning to Pateris and Brewster and all the way up the US 97 corridor to beautiful Canada. And finally, the Wahatus camera. I went to my doctor the other day and he said my Wahatus is okay, but I'm taking pills. A big swath of kind of the exact opposite of Billy Goat. Billy Goat, you got all the valleys and the rivers and the mountains. The Wahatus camera way to the south of us, you got nothing but just flat. It looks more like Texas, but that's what it is from that camera angle down in Wahatus, our Wahatus camera. It's going to be a little breezy today, and it's going to be bone dry as far as relative humidity. And, well, gee, have you seen this slide before? Yep, there is a fire risk. I can't believe it's the 9th day of October and we're talking about fires, but this is the new normal now. This afternoon, as the wind picks up, as this trough slides on down, when we're going to see the temperatures pretty nice, lower 70s, but bone dry conditions. Relative humidity is almost nothing. It's a very dry cold front. It's going to kick up the winds. It's going to scour out the clouds, but the conditions are ripe for any fire that is already out there, and I really don't know of any, could really take off, or any fire that really starts, and that's the one that would really be a concern. A new fire could really get going. So obviously use a little common sense and you'll be good to go. All right, let's get into details from the National Weather Service. It looks something like this. Clouds this morning, as you can see. Boy, it's a beautiful sunrise. And then gradually the sun will be out, and by 2 or so this afternoon, there'll be quite a bit of sunshine out there. But it's going to be a little cooler, high of only 71, which is still above normal. Our normal high is 66. And again, very windy, especially this afternoon. It will die down a little bit tonight. Check out the overnight low tonight with the cold front and the dry air, 39 degrees. I checked the last time we had an overnight low in the 30s in the Wenatchee Valley was way back on May 2nd. It's been that long since we had the overnight lows in the 30s, and we're going to be there, it looks like, tonight by the time you wake up Thursday morning. Lots of sunshine, very little wind, 67, right around normal for this time of the year. Slightly warmer on Thursday night, and then, wow, I mean, lots of sunshine Friday, little wind, but really not much. 70, 74, 77, 78. Yep, another ridge of high pressure is poised to pay us a visit. A little more clouds, slightly cooler on Tuesday, but this is crazy warm weather for October, and the much needed rain, and I mean much needed rain, is nowhere to be had. 6 minutes after the hour, grab your coffee, your omelet, your pancakes, whatever it is that you eat for breakfast, and come right back. We'll do the news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Enjoy the sounds of summer from your very own pool and spa. Blue Lagoon is now scheduling pool installations for this summer. Call today to schedule a free consultation for a custom San Juan fiberglass pool. And let the experts at Blue Lagoon handle the construction, installation, and regular maintenance. Turn your boring backyard into vacation paradise this summer with industry-leading San Juan pool. No need to go off the deep end. Relax knowing you're in great hands with Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa.
The family at the Epladolin want to help your loved one feel at ease in their new home environment. Epladolin offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments. Residents enjoy 3 delicious home-style meals a day, laundry service, housekeeping service, and encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Epladolin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Epladolin, independent and assisted living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour.
Have you ever played that game, What Would You Rather? Where you give 2 options to see what your friend would choose? Well, let's try it. What would you rather? Would you rather have a telemarketer from a foreign call center named David, or a local North Central Washington agent who has been helping folks for over 20 years on Medicare and has 5 offices to serve you, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. So, what would you rather? Now give us a call at Springwater Insurance. Our phone number, 509-888-2600.
Why shop Boswell's Furniture in Wenatchee? Their selection is amazing with 2 floors of quality home furnishings. You'll find comfort and style for your living room, solid wood craftsmanship for your dining room, plus beautiful bedroom sets and luxury mattresses for your main or guest bedrooms. Shop Boswell's on Easy Street in Wenatchee for superior customer service and free local delivery. Find the perfect furnishings to fit your home and lifestyle at Boswell's Furniture. It's closer than you think.
It's certainly mild. It's 54 degrees here in the Wenatchee Valley with quite a bit of cloud cover later on today. Winds pick up, clouds depart. We'll top off at 71. Pretty chilly for the overnight low tonight, and then nothing but sunshine and a gradual warming trend, and it begins on Thursday. It's just about 9 minutes after the hour. A Tacoma woman who injured her passenger in a vehicle rollover near Stevens Pass has pled guilty to an assault charge. Back on August 5th, 34-year-old Jennifer M. Haig was traveling east on Highway 2, about 5 miles east of the summit, when she overcorrected and crashed her Kia Sedona into the westbound guardrail. The Washington State Patrol says her vehicle then rolled down the embankment, and that left her 40-year-old passenger with a broken wrist and related injuries. Prosecutors in Chelan County withdrew a charge that alleged Hay was intoxicated at the time, and she instead pled guilty Monday to third-degree assault for driving negligently. Judge Kristen Ferreira sentenced Haig to a year's probation plus the 4 days in jail she had already served. A second Chelan County commissioner has weighed in on who should replace departing Commissioner Tiffany Gehring. Gehring represents the county's 3rd district. She's going to leave office at the end of the year, and she has endorsed first-time candidate Flint Hartwig in his race against longtime state Senator Brad Hawkins. Now, Sean Smith, the commissioner representing District 2, has also endorsed Hartwig. Smith and Gehring are Republicans, as are both of the candidates for Gehring's seat. Hartwig and Hawkins spoke about their various endorsements in an interview with NCW Life. You can watch, by the way, that full interview on our website.
Just recently, a group of mayors endorsed my campaign. Former Mayor Frank Kuntz of Wenatchee, the current mayor Mike Poirier of Wenatchee, the mayor across the way, Jerry Crawford, mayor of Leavenworth, Carl Flory, mayor of Kashmir, Jim Fletcher, the former mayor of Chelan, Mike Cooney, and other business leaders, Bart Clennon, Doug and Katie Pauley, former general manager of Chelan PUD, Steve Wright, longtime community advocate, Gene Sherritt, and other groups like the Mainstream Republicans, the Wenatchee Valley Firefighters Union.
Well, first and foremost, Tiffany Gehring. I actually have a ton of respect for her, and I think she's done a good job, as well as the two candidates that were also in the race, Chris Willoughby and Brant Capel, have also endorsed. And if you go to my Facebook page, you'll see a slew of endorsements, everything from past Chelan PUD commissioners to business people, thought leaders in our community. But I'm not going to spend a lot of my time giving you the entire list. There's plenty to check out, as well as the local Republicans as well.
Utilities across the country are celebrating Public Power Week, so it makes sense that today's condensed interview is the local candidates to manage the Douglas County PUD. Ron Skagen has been a PUD commissioner since 2007. He's now being challenged in the nonpartisan post by East Wenatchee City Council member Matthew Hepner. Our own Jefferson Robbins has been speaking with the local candidates all this week. Here's an excerpt. You can watch the entire interview by going to our website.
I definitely like the gumption that they had. I like that the PUD was aggressive in this space. Regarding the fuel station, I believe they may have put the cart before the horse. I'm a big proponent of hydrogen, but there are some concerns. Hydrogen takes a huge amount of electricity to generate. We might be the only standalone hydroelectric generating facility with hydrogen capacity around right now. There was a Centralia project that failed, that went under because they needed 300 megawatts and they couldn't find it. So if we're looking to be in a hydrogen ecosystem, are we currently on an island? And then there's a large project in the Tri-Cities, Atlas Agro, which is also looking for power. I hope they get it. Those would be great jobs to have here. And Douglas County PUD built that project on the high road, putting local electricians to work, tradespeople from all over, and that was greatly appreciated for those jobs. But I do want to see how the market responds to hydrogen, because I think we're going to be asked the question of what is more valuable, hydrogen or electricity, and the electricity that it takes to make. Got a great tour of the hydrogen facility and was interested to find that they're actually using direct current or DC power when we're generating an AC. So that means we're shipping AC power over, rectifying it, breaking it down to DC. And whenever you have a transfer of power like that, you have probably a 20%-ish energy loss. So if there was a way to generate in DC and go directly there, I think we could, increase the impact of the hydrogen that we're using and the electricity that we're able to sell.
It's a common misunderstanding that the economics is based on filling fuel cell cars. That's not the economics. We're spending over $400 million reworking our turbines at Wellstam. We're turning them on and off every 4 seconds because we're a balancing authority. Those big machines do not like that. So our motivation with hydrogen is primarily to extend the life of the turbines at the dam, and that's very important for the grid. I would say that, so far we have 5 megawatts. We've approved a second 5 megawatts. Our first year cash budget for next year is positive, 1.5 million. And that is because the value of the hydrogen, which is mostly not sold here, it's mostly sold in California, is so high. So it's a good thing to do. It is a pilot. It will be good financially. It'll extend the life of the dam. And we need to be willing to be innovators. And I just say, people don't know this, but 10, 15 years ago, I'd like to add, back up. The 25, 30 million we spent, half of that's been paid for by the state grants. We didn't count on that, but that's been good. And if we get the production tax credit from the feds, it'll pay 100% of our operating costs. So it's a good economic thing. About 15 years ago, we spent about $10 million in exploring wind generation in the Withrow area. And we should be willing to do venture outlook and experiment. We have a wind project in Tri-Cities. We should be willing to do that. And this is a reasonable approach to help the economy get reduced carbon. We're not generating electricity, but we are taking it at the time that it's more abundant. If someone plugs in, I got to hurry up. If someone wants to plug in an electric car, if we have 85% electric vehicles, we're in trouble. If some of those use fuel cell, we're in better shape because we're harvesting electricity when it's lower cost and at our convenience.
The city of Leavenworth has appointed a couple of new city officials to manage its building office and its public works infrastructure. The city announced last week that Maggie Bowles will serve as Leavenworth's new community development director. She oversees the new construction and growth in the Bavarian-themed tourist village. And on the public works side, Andy Zontek-Backstrom was put in place to run that department. That means streets, sewers, city parks, wastewater, trash service, and on down the line. Zontek-Backstrom, by the way, replaces Tim Wacholder. Tim Wacholder left that office in June. He's now the public works director for the city of Wenatchee. The Met House shooting range near Winthrop is going to be temporarily closed from October 15th through the 25th. The Washington State Department of Fish and Wildlife announced on Monday that a third-party contractor is going to be conducting the first cleanup at the shooting range. There's about 3 to 5 tons of lead and copper. Well, that's going to happen because when you have discharged firearms, you're going to have a lot of lead and a lot of copper. The closure will overlap with the hunting season, which runs from October 12th to the 22nd, but the department says it was a matter of contracting constraints. They got to get them while they can get them, and that the end result will be, and I'm quoting now, improve range usability and public safety for all users, end quote. And Chelan County is in the midst of crafting its first plan for how motorized trails get used on county lands. The plan would apply to trail use by e-bikes, motorcycles, ATVs, snowmobiles. Eventually, it could connect the county's trail network with those in Kittitas to the south and Okanagan County to the north. The Chelan County Natural Resources Department is conducting a survey of motorized trail users. You can participate by doing that right now. Hop on the county's website or use the QR code that you see there. The agency plans a workshop on October 30th at the Confluence Technology Center for further input. And that's what's making news at just about 18 minutes after the hour on this Wednesday. And we will have the news for you again tonight at 5, 6, and 10 if you're interested in what's going on around here, and we actually think you do. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. The NCW Life Evening News. If it doesn't fit into your schedule, don't worry. It'll be up and running. You can watch it whenever you're ready to watch it. You can set aside a half an hour and watch the news via the World Wide Web. It'll be up and running on our homepage, our Facebook page, our YouTube page. We have an X, we have an Instagram, we have a toaster. We have some old food in the fridge that needs to be thrown out, but that's our problem, not yours. And if something out there warrants our attention, or you think it does, the best thing to do is send us an email. It couldn't hurt. news@ncwlife.com. Baseball playoffs, a full slate today and a couple of pretty good games last night. And the Kraken are underway for their third campaign. Sports in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Another fall sports season is upon us. Yes, we'll be talking about Eastmont football, but also volleyball and girls soccer. Be sure and join us for the Eastmont Wildcats all season long right here on the NCW Life channel, your local TV station.
Coverage is presented by Alpine Air Heating and Cooling, Kennedy Real Estate Group, Les Schwab, Sangster Motors, Save Mart, Together for Youth, and Valley Tractor.
Flessenow is a small village in Germany, the heritage home to the Bruders family. Today, the Bruders family call Leavenworth home and make award-winning wines that celebrate the American dream. New Flessenow Cellars has spectacular views anywhere around the property, so bring your friends to taste award-winning handcrafted wines and seasonal specialties. New Flessenow is perfect for any celebration. From their family to yours, stop by this weekend and experience the charm for yourself.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect. No matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Sports at 21 minutes after the hour. The National League had a spotlight all to themselves in the baseball playoffs yesterday. The New York Mets took an early big lead over the Phillies, held on. No real challenge there. Final there was 7-2, so the Mets now lead that series 2-1. And then a little bit later on last night at Petco Field in San Diego, the Padres held off the Dodgers. All the runs in this game, all 11 runs were scored by the third inning. Then after that, it was all bullpens. So the Padres lead that series 2-1. And here's the schedule. Guess what I'll be doing this afternoon when I get off work? I'm watching baseball, baby. It's the Guardians and the Tigers. They get things going shortly afternoon. Game 3 of their series. That'll be on TBS. If the Mets beat the Phillies in the game that starts at 2 o'clock, the Mets move on to the National League Championship Series. We shall see. Game 4 of that is at 2 o'clock on FS1. 2 hours later, it is Game 3 of the American League Division Series. The Yankees and the Royals, they're tied at a game apiece in Kansas City shortly after 4 o'clock on TBS. And then the nightcap, the Dodgers and the Padres, their Game 4 at 6 o'clock on FS1. Just like the Mets, if the Padres beat the Dodgers tonight, they move on and the Dodgers will be eliminated. Well, Jordan Kyrou scored 2 goals less than 2 minutes apart late in the second period, and the St. Louis Blues rallied from an early 2-goal deficit, and they beat the Seattle Kraken. It was the season opener for both teams yesterday in Seattle. The final was 3-2. Vince Dunn and Ely Tollivan scored 2 minutes apart early in the second period for the Kraken. Blues goalie Jordan Bennington had 30 saves. Philip Grubauer for the Kraken, 22 saves.
That Matty Beniers is right behind him, and they get a chance. Dunn motors in, and a save. Rebound, score! Vince Dunn starts the scoring in Seattle. Vince Dunn scored the first goal in Kraken history in this building, 5 seasons. And it starts with a terrific play by the new captain, Jordan Eberle. He takes Colton Parayko out of the play. Nobody picks up Vince Dunn. Dunn jumps into the play. It's a 2-on-1. Lenny tries to take it away. Bennington makes one stop. Nobody can corral the rebound. And Vince Dunn's got goal 1. The Kraken lead, deservedly so, 1-0. At that point, Ray, shots are 6-zip Seattle here in the second period. And they win the ozone faceoff, worked along for Riker Evans, score! Ellie Tolvanen was in front. Evans shot from the point, gets through. 2-0 Kraken. On every one, as they needed to win more faceoffs. It's a faceoff win by Shane Wright. The D-to-D allows the shot from Riker Evans to get through. We told you it was about a month after the coaching change that Neighbors went net front on the top unit. Kyrou speeding in, backhand score! St. Louis is on the board with Jordan Kyrou. Seattle gets caught flat-footed here. Alexiak can't turn with Kyrou. It's a terrific pass from Thomas to Kyrou, and then Kyrou's going to take Grubauer to the stick side and slide it through his feet. Most times, it's almost like clockwork in the NHL. A power play breakout, someone will carry the puck up to the far blue line and drop it back. Alexiak gets caught flat-footed. They don't expect the rush chance. The pass is perfect to Jordan Kyrou. Puck lands in the ozone, sprung to by Neighbors. Neighbors gets checked by Jaden Schwartz. Work back to the line. Here's Falk. Moves it on for Broberg. A shot. Score! This game is tied. Get him out of Edmonton. Well, here's a pretty good return. First game, a pass from Falk, and the wrist shot beats Grubauer clean from below the circle. This is one that Grubauer won't like. I think Celebrini's ready to compete at this level. We'll see if he gets enough help around him.
Well, we've got a tie game here in the second.
Look out.
And now picked off. Kyrou in alone. Jordan Kyrou scores! 3 in a row, and the Blues have the lead in Seattle. Carried in behind. Buchnevich couldn't get it to go, but that will do it in Seattle. The Blues win it 3-2 in the opener against the Kraken.
Well, they still got 81 games to go. Kraken are off until Saturday. They'll be in Minnesota to take on the Wild, the first of a 3-game road trip. All right, prep volleyball scoreboard. Wenatchee and Lake Stevens. What an epic battle this was. This was in Lake Stevens. Wenatchee dropped the first set 31-33 in volleyball. Then they came back and won the next 3 sets, and they took care of Lake Stevens 3-1 in non-league action. Sela over Sunnyside in volleyball in Big 9. Again, non-league action. Kashmir rolls right along. No problems with Wahluke. They dominated the Warriors 25-3, 25-8, 25-11. Omak shut out Tenasket in girls volleyball 3-0. Ellensburg 3-0 over Grandview. They're good. Afraid 3-0 over Quincy. Toppenish did give up 1 set to Othello, but they won 3-1. More prep volleyball. Your winners: Prosser over East Valley, Okanagan over Lake Roosevelt, Brewster shut out Bridgeport. Tight one between Waterville Mansfield and Moses Lake Christian, but the Shockers take it. Pateras swept Thorpe. It was Soap Lake over Garden City Academy 3-0. Antioch over Easton 3-0. Wilson Creek got by Oroville in girls volleyball 3-1. Prep soccer. It was a clean sweep for Kashmir over Wahluke. They won in volleyball. They won in soccer 6-0 at Vale Elementary last night. Cascade all over Omak 5-1. Tenasket over Chelan 1-0. Okanagan over Brewster 3-2. Lake Roosevelt over Oroville in a soccer game 9-2. It happens. And more prep soccer from the smaller schools. Pateras shuts out Manson. Bridgeport by 1 over Liberty Bell. Sela all over Ephrata 6-0. Ellensburg 4-0 over Toppenish. Prosser beat Quincy 3-0. Grandview snuck by Othello 1-0. And those were just some of the games that people are playing. On this 9th day of October, there are 9 obscure holidays that came across my calendar. It is Independence Day in Uganda. I don't think they have a great deal of independence in Uganda. I think the average Ugandan makes like $1,000 a year. And they have a dictator as a president. But anyway, they declared their independence from Britain, or Britain probably gave it to them. It's Curious Events Day, National Moldy Cheese Day, none for me. National Emergency Nurses Day. It's National Take Your Teddy Bear to Work Day. It's Canadian Beer Day. It's Beer and Pizza Day. I can get into that. It's Fire Prevention Day because it's Fire Prevention Week. We're not doing any of those. No, today it's National Pet Obesity Awareness Day. And there is an organization called the Association for Pet Obesity Prevention. And as you might imagine, they're a little concerned, and the numbers are a little overwhelming as well. Over half of adult dogs and cats in this country are either overweight or obese. In fact, here are the numbers as of 2022. In this country, 61% of cats and 59% of dogs are either overweight or downright obese. If they're 10 to 20% over their ideal weight, they're overweight. If you're 20% over their ideal weight for pets, you are considered obese. And wouldn't you know it? Obesity in your household pets is brings up the same issues that it does in their human masters, like arthritis and diabetes and kidney disease and cancer and high blood pressure, respiratory disease. So the odds are pretty good. And who's kidding who? Our animals are just too damn fat. We can do something about that. And you can start today. It's National Pet Obesity Awareness Day today. It is 29 minutes after the hour. Today in history. Happy birthday to that university. Take a look at that. You're going, what is that? October 9th, 1701, 323 years ago, the Collegiate School of Connecticut is chartered in Old Saybrook, Connecticut. 2 things. First of all, it's not called the Collegiate School of Connecticut anymore. It's Yale. It's Yale University, and it's no longer in Old Saybrook, Connecticut. It's now in New Haven, Connecticut. Yale is very hard to get into, as you might imagine. Only 5% of applicants who apply to go to Yale are actually accepted, so you gotta be pretty good. Yale was the very first university in this country to award doctorates, the very first university to award PhDs. Bet you didn't know that. Their endowment is big. It's the third biggest in the country. It's a $40 billion endowment. 5 U.S. presidents, 20 United States Supreme Court justices, 31 living billionaires, and a lot of heads of state. And this remarkable fact about Yale. Yale alumni were represented on the Democratic or Republican ticket in every U.S. presidential election between 1972 and 2004. So in contemporary terms, if you want to be the president, go to Yale. It certainly increases your chances. Yale is 323 years old today. October 9th, 1910, it would be 114 years ago today. Here's the deal. It was the last day of the regular season. Ty Cobb had the lead for the batting title. The batting title was huge. The winner of the batting title got a brand new car from the Chalmers Car Company. So you want to win the American League Batting Championship. Ty Cobb sits out the final game of the regular season because he did the math, and the only guy who could possibly catch him was Napoleon Lajoie, and he had to get 8 hits in a doubleheader at the end of the season in order to pass Ty Cobb. Well, everybody loved Napoleon Lajoie. Nobody liked Ty Cobb, and Napoleon Lajoie in the doubleheader on this date in 1910 played both games and got 8 hits, exactly what he needed. 6 of those 8 hits were bunts because everybody loved Knapp and everybody hated Ty. The manager of St. Louis had his third baseman play almost in the outfield, and all Napoleon Lajoie had to do was bunt down the third base line and jog to first base. It was a scandal. It took on a life of its own. Finally, the Chalmers Motor Company said, we'll just give you both a car. Napoleon Lajoie technically won the American League Batting Championship by 1 percentage point over Ty Cobb, but they both got cars anyway. And finally, October 19th, 1919, one more baseball note. The Cincinnati Reds win the World Championship over the Chicago White Sox. And everybody went, what? The Reds beat the White Sox? The White Sox are infinitely better than the Reds. But of course, as we all know by now, the 1919 World Series wasn't exactly played on the up and up, and we will leave it at that. It's 32 minutes after the hour. 2 rock and roll heavenly birthdays. I hope they're jamming up there together. John Ono Winston Lennon. Born on October 9th, 1940, he would be 84 years old today, of course, shot to death outside of his apartment in the Upper East Side of Manhattan at the age of 40. In the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a member of the Beatles, and in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a solo artist, John Lennon, born in the state in 1940. John Entwistle, considered by many the greatest bass guitarist of all time, reinvented how the instrument is played with The Who. John Entwistle, born in the state in 1944, died in Las Vegas at the tender age of 57 back in 2002. He, of course, is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. This guy's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and he's doing great. Jackson Browne. It's all good music. I don't think he's ever done a bad album. A couple of songs that weren't that great, but Jackson Browne started out as a songwriter, became an artist in his own right. Happy 81st to Jackson Browne, and happy 71st to Tony Shalhoub, the guy who played Monk. And by playing Monk, he was nominated for the Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Comedy Series all 8 years the show was on the air, from 2003 to 2010, a remarkable achievement. 8 nominations in 8 years, and he won 3 of them. Tony Shalhoub is 71 years old today, and Monk is a great show. Very good. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. I'm going to say it one more time. For heat and air, call Alpine Air, because they're the ones who know what they're doing. You know eventually your heater will be on most of the time. You want to make sure it's ready to handle the workload. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. They know what they're doing. They don't stay in business as long as they do without knowing what you're doing. You want to move in with Mike and Rosie Magnotti? You may be able to. Affordable housing is Mike's commentary, and then it's time to talk hockey. Austin Drade and David Rayfield for the Wenatchee Wild. A great conversation you don't want to miss. It's coming up. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCB Live channel.
Want to stay up to date on the latest news in the area? Tired of paying for your news? Download the NCW Life app now. No subscriptions necessary. Get news, weather, sports, and more live as it happens. Available for iPhone and Android in the App Store. Local news at your fingertips. Don't miss the stories that matter to you. Stay connected. Download the NCW Life app now.
Global Car Care has the best customer service in the Valley. From the moment you walk in the door, their goal is to help you stay on the road, so you can keep doing what's important to you. Global Car Care certified ASE mechanics stand behind your automotive repairs.
When you buy tires at Les Schwab, you're getting more than just tires. You're getting America's best tire warranty, 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. So if something happens to your tire on the road, we'll fix it, or we'll replace it, no questions asked. Other places make you pay extra for that kind of protection, but at Les Schwab, it's included with every set of tires, because more warranty means less worry, and nobody stands by their tires like Les Schwab. Get more from less.
At Abby's, it's kind of simple. We're not rocket scientists. We just make great pizza. When you're ready for traditional values, time with your family, and a great meal, you're invited to Abby's. Order at abbys.com. Our family is here for your family. It's fall. Want a great value that doesn't involve pumpkin spice? Try Abby's Barbecue Chicken Pizza. Save and enjoy a pizza with loads of quality toppings to the edge. Your taste buds and your wallet will thank you. Enjoy Abby's October special at a very special price.
Lifeline Ambulance has partnered with Wenatchee Valley Tech to provide EMT certification training within the high school. This opens up career opportunities in EMS, fire, and other medical fields, and gives these students a leg up when entering the workforce.
Students at Wenatchee Valley Tech, through our partnership with Lifeline Ambulance, can now earn their National Registry EMT certification.
Hello, 3 tickets, please.
Oh, the Discovery Center is free to visit.
So you're telling me we could look at the fish for free?
Yep, that's free.
But how much is it to drive the steamboat?
Todo es gratis.
So you're telling me that we could go play on the playground?
Still free.
It's free.
Exactly. Gratis, gratis, gratis. The Discovery Center at Rocky Beach. It's free.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. And I'm going to bet, with housing prices where they are these days, we're going to see a return to, or at least a new phenomenon of multi-extended family or extended generational family living. You know, if the average family income was about $57,000 and the average home price being $450,000, I mean, come on, we can't see how new home ownership for a single family is going to be feasible. Extended family members or multiple families sharing a home and mortgage is probably going to become a new trend. Good thing or bad? Well, who knows? I mean, I wouldn't mind if my daughter's family moved in with us in the same house, but my son? This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
It might be sunny now, but fall is in the air, and we've got you covered here on the NCW Life Channel. If it's Wenatchee Panther football, volleyball, or girls soccer, we've got you covered. So tune in to your local TV station, the NCW Life Channel, for Wenatchee Panther sports.
Coverage is presented by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling, Abby's Pizza, Apple Valley Honda, Coldwell Banker Cascade Real Estate, Global Car Care, Harvest Valley Pest Control, and Highlander Golf Course and Grill.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories. And we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air. When you've been in business for 40 years, it's because you understand change and you put members first, always. Now Works is announcing a change in their membership model. Up to 6 people on one membership that you can mix and match. The more people, the bigger the discounts. Introducing the Works shared membership model. One membership, friends and family and flexibility. Works, the cleanest, friendliest, most helpful gyms you and your friends will ever join.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether. We provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Normally, when we visit with Austin Drade and occasionally David Rayfield for the Wenatchee Wild, we're always talking about upcoming home games. Well, they don't have a home game coming up this weekend. They'll be on Vancouver Island to take on Victoria, maybe a little revenge on their mind. But we got a couple of things on the agenda. First of all, we're going to talk a little hockey with our good buddy Austin Drade, talk about the weekend that was. Spoiler alert, wasn't much. And then David Rayfield, of course, is going to do his traditional camp out, maybe 15, 20 feet from where we're sitting, outside the lodge of the Town Toyota Center for Military Appreciation Night. That's not until November 9th, but we're going to plant the seed early because David's got to sell 1,000 tickets, which is normally pretty easy, but David, we'll get to that in just a minute. Austin and David, good to see you again, my friend. How you doing?
Doing all right.
And I don't get to see you very much anymore.
Yeah. Stay busy, but it's promotion time, so.
Do people know how much work you do behind the scenes before you go out between periods with your microphone and stuff? They think, David's just winging it.
I don't think so, but if I'm making it look easy, I think that's a good thing, because it doesn't feel easy, but it's important and it's fun, so.
And people come for, hockey is just, this is becoming a hockey town, and there are people who will come for the hockey game, and you have to do anything at halftime. But the fact that you do all that stuff to keep everybody entertained and enlightened is a critical part of the whole fan experience, isn't it?
Yeah, it's something that kind of makes Wenatchee unique is how much we lean on our themes and having one almost every night for all 34 games, where not every team does that. Especially around this league, they're like, oh yeah, the hockey is the hockey, we'll lean on that. We're like, hey, who can we support in our community by doing a fundraiser and doing something fun, so.
Last weekend's the promotion was Wenatchee doesn't score, was the promotion, in case you missed it. They lost to Victoria at home 3-0 on Saturday, and then in overtime 2-1 on a Sunday to Kamloops, I believe it was. As we roll Sunday's highlight, you'll notice Miles Cooper scored a goal. Thanks, Miles. As we roll the highlights from Sunday, Austin, obviously from an offensive standpoint, pretty disappointing.
It was a rough weekend for the guys, and that's not to say they didn't get their chances, because they certainly did. They got off to a great start, really controlled the pace, I thought. Especially on Sunday, they had all the first 7 shots of the game. They had, I think, 11 of the first 14. And these guys definitely created chances. There was a penalty kill on Saturday night where, normally with a penalty kill, you're trying to keep the puck away from your net and maybe break out a chance if you can get one. We had a 2-on-1 and a 3-on-1 on the same penalty kill, and things just didn't come together for a goal. We had another one on a normal rush. We had 4 guys, I think, started the rush at 4-on-1, and then they got a couple guys back quickly. And again, nothing came out of that one. So it's not to say the guys didn't get their chances, but I'm sure the coaches will say the same thing. If you get a 2-on-1, 3-on-1, 4-on whatever, you got to put those away, and the guys just weren't able to do that in those 2 games against a couple of good teams.
Is it simply because it's still early in the season? Some of the guys are still trying to figure out their roles, the line changes, things like that. Just miscommunication, I guess.
I think that could be part of it. We've had some injuries. We're starting to see some combinations more regular, guys that are starting to click into place. But with some guys still out of the lineup right now, I think that could definitely be a part of it.
You mentioned that. How are we health-wise? I know it's early. There's usually a few pulled hamstrings here and there and a twisted ankle. How are we?
Yeah, there were a few guys that are still dinged up. Some guys that are coming back from injuries early in the season or even during camp, right before camp. So it's not a group that's at full strength right now, but we've got a lot of important guys who are on the ice giving it their all.
Good news over the weekend. Our goalkeeping was good, really good.
Daniel Hauser looked really good this weekend. Gave up 4, but when you consider he faced I think 50-some shots on the weekend, he did his part. We just got to get him the offense that he needs. Was Friday night? It was Saturday night and Sunday afternoon. After those games, the guys know that they should have won both of those games. So there probably wasn't a lot of coaching going on because the guys know where they blew it. They police themselves well in that regard. I think the guys probably know, and I think they get a certain feel during the game too that this is what we need to clean up. These are the improvements we need to make. I think the guys can tell a lot of that on their own, and the coaches will take a look at the video and assess things after the game, and anything that needs to be cleared up, anything that needs to be said, coaches will take care of that before the guys get back out there.
They are on the road this weekend. Again, they got Victoria Friday night, Saturday afternoon. That's kind of you don't see a Saturday afternoon matinee.
Not typically, but it works out really nicely for us. We'll get back on the ferry after the game, and we'll get back late Saturday night, very early Sunday morning. But the guys will be able to spend Sunday and the very end of Saturday night in their own beds, which will be really nice.
So the next home game is on the 18th then?
That'll be the 18th. That's Wild About Awareness Night. We'll have Kelowna coming in for that one as part of another busy weekend for the guys. 7 3-3s this weekend, and that'll be one where we'll travel up Kamloops on Friday night after the game partway, and then we'll finish the drive for the game Saturday, and then come back home and play again on Sunday afternoon. So Friday the 18th will be the next home game for the guys as part of a busy weekend.
And the real busy weekend and a busy week, who's getting who, is when David parks his keister out on the patio outside the Loge and stays there until 1,000 tickets are sold. All of it going, well, almost all of it anyway, going for Military Appreciation Night on the 9th day of April. David, I forgot, what's the origin of all this when you decided to do this a number of years ago?
It's just a crazy idea, and supporting our veterans is really what it came from. The first year, my goal was 500 tickets, and I was out there a long time. It was my first year back with the team, and actually, it was like middle of the season, so I was just calling everybody I could. I
remember that. It was like in February.
Yeah, it was a cold one. So I kept cold calling. Luckily, now I've kind of created some relationships, but I also upped my goal 500 more. So we're at 1,000 now. So it's a lot of camping.
And at least it's a little bit warmer, relatively speaking, the first week in November than it is the first week in February. Just kidding.
Yeah, certainly. Weather really doesn't bother me. If I was a single guy without a kid, I would have no problem. I stay out there for a month, no issues. But I like getting home to my family after a long day at work, and that's a pretty important aspect. So that's really the sacrifice there. But being my 5th season, I've spent currently 16 days out there and raised over $14,000. So once I reach my goal, hopefully we're only at a total of 17 days and $18,000. But
well, the best thing to do is you start the camp out. When is the actual date that you start?
Yeah, so I'm going to start after our home game on the 20th, so the 21st, that's a Monday. And hopefully I'm not out there too long because we have a game on the 25th, our Halloween game. So as you said before, I got a lot to do behind the scenes on planning these games and making sure intermissions and stuff are lined up. So hopefully I'm not out there too long.
And all of this is geared towards the week of the 8th and the 9th of November. Friday is proud to be an American night. Saturday is the big one. That's Military Appreciation Night on Saturday, November 9th. And then Sunday, November 10th, is David Recovers from Pneumonia Night, which is a special promotion they're going to have here. 1,000 tickets is attainable for you? I mean,
yeah, that's what we've done the last 2 years.
2 years, and it didn't take you too long. Maybe 5 days, I want to say.
It was 4 days and 3 nights each time. So it's just kind of that Thursday always seems to be where people kind of feel bad for me. So hopefully this year they feel a little bad for me earlier on. But tickets are $17. You get tickets into the Wild Zone, and $4 of each ticket goes to the Thomas A. Biddle Foundation and our local Veterans Hall. So like I said before, through all of these years, we'll have raised over $18,000 by doing this promotion. And it's usually just people that were going to buy tickets for their company anyway. So if there's business owners out there that are wanting to treat their staff to an amazing night, you can come watch hockey and support your veterans at the same time. So it's a win-win.
I know a lot of you guys in marketing and promotions and sales for all the WHL clubs, you guys all get together and you compare notes. This is a promotion or a night that we tried and it worked really well, and this one maybe not so much. I know you guys, because everybody wants to put on a show. When you pitch this to your other WHL brethren, they go, are you nuts?
Yeah.
I live in Calgary. I'm not going to sleep out on the deck of the Saddle Dome.
Yeah, there was some crickets on that one for me, which is fine. Hey, we're Wenatchee. We're going to do it our way, and we're going to make our Military Appreciation Night as big as possible because it's well respected in our community, and it needs to be. So it's one of my favorite nights to do as a marketer and as an American, really.
How do people know when they buy their $17 ticket that they're getting it through you? Because they go, yeah, okay, I want to be a part of David's thing and not just, oh, I bought a ticket for the 9th not knowing this was going on.
Yeah, so one, I have my own ticket link. So that information's out on our website. Austin's written a story for me. There's QR codes. And then I have my phone, I have my computer set up on that balcony. So you can call directly to the Wild office, you'll get transferred to me, and I'll process your ticket directly. Or you can even come up and see me. Some people come visit, some people bring me food, hot cocoa, so it's really nice. I do get fed well up there. A lot of people providing burgers, and Jimmy John's is always great, so that's a good
And keep in mind, David does take care of personal hygiene. That's also taken care of. You pop in for a quick shower, like.
Yes, certainly. Yes, there's not a 5-gallon bucket out on the balcony, don't worry. There's a bathroom just 10 yards away, so I do slip inside every once in a while, but other than that, I got to be on the phones. It takes some time to sell 1,000 tickets. You know, I appreciate the companies that buy 50 plus, or even the companies that buy 5, but it takes time. Even processing orders, sometimes could take up to 15 minutes. So you do a bunch of those in a day, it's all of a sudden the sun's going down and it's getting cold and businesses are closed. So, yeah.
One last question for David, then we'll close it up for Austin. At any time during the first time you did this 5-6 years ago, did you think to yourself at 2 o'clock on a Thursday morning, what the hell was I thinking when I just agreed to do this?
I think that every year. I think I've had every different type of weather. Every year I bring less material thinking, I'm going to get this done quick. Then it started raining last year, and I'm thinking, oh man, am I going to reach my goal this year? And just keep persevering. I make sure that we reach that goal each year and we're able to donate those funds back. I would hate to say, hey, I'm going to give you $4,000 here in a couple weeks and then come back and say, oh, never mind, I didn't do good enough for you after what our veterans have done for us. So yes, it's a bit of thought in my head, but never going to give up on it.
NHL season stateside opened today as we tape this. It's Tuesday as we tape this. Seattle taking on the St. Louis Blues. You're on record. You like Edmonton to take it all, who went all the way to the very end before Florida knocked them off?
Yep, the bitter end, Game 7.
So, David, I got to ask you on this first opening day of the NHL season, who do you like to take home Lord Stanley's Cup?
Oh, man. That's putting me on the spot. I'm going to go Florida's going to repeat.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, I did my homework, and you know what? I kind of, this sounds cattywampus, I kind of like Calgary a little bit. I do. I think I did my homework. I usually don't do my homework. Any of my teachers will guarantee you that. So I'm on record, Calgary, Edmonton, and you think Florida Panthers are going to repeat?
I think that when you ask me next week, I'm going to switch it up.
None of us picked the Utah Hockey Club. All they need is a mascot, and they'll be good to go. So good for the folks in Salt Lake City, I'm glad. Austin, don't forget you can listen to Austin, call the game on the Wenatchee Wild Hockey Network via KPQ or 1340 The Zone, depending on where you end up on that part of the dial, because they have other sporting commitments to do so. And you can also watch it by going online, right?
Yep, you can watch it through the league stream or listen on KPQ this weekend. it's going to be a few more weeks before the Seahawks are back on a Sunday the same day as us. So we'll be on 560 again for a little while.
Austin Drade, David Rayfield of the Wenatchee Wild go wild, and we'll be right back.
Ow.
Scare Crazy in Cashmere. It's a spooktacular good time all month long in Cashmere. Scarecrows will be waiting for you throughout the town. Silly ones, spooky ones, and everything in between. Yeah, it's Scare Crazy in Cashmere. Bring the family and find the scarecrows all around Cashmere, and be sure to thank these fine sponsors. Get coverage you can trust from Bruce Cheadle, your State Farm agent.
Cashmere Veterinary Clinic is natural pet care in everything they do.
Hey there folks, Blueberry Carrie here to invite you on out to experience Blueberry Hills. Of course, the food is fabulous, like our cheese blintz, our famous French dip, our legendary Eggs Benedict, and unforgettable burgers. But we're more than just great food. People come from all over the world to experience what's been called one of the best destination restaurants in the Pacific Northwest. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
Imagine a science project being done on the kitchen table. Feel the excitement on Christmas morning as the kids race down the stairs to form memories that cannot be erased. Listen for the laughter coming from the next room. Put your family in a new home to make these visions become reality with Coldwell Banker Cascade. Use the Move meter entering 2 cities and see how a potential move scores based on the cost of living and other factors. Make your dream place a reality with Coldwell Banker Cascade today.
Welcome to the Gilded Lily home, where something extraordinary is waiting. Fall has arrived at the Gilded Lily. Luscious colors of rust, orange, and gold lead you throughout the entire store. Gourmet foods to delight your guests. Stylish linens, handcrafted jewelry. The Gilded Lily home, where you can step in for inspiration and leave with beautiful items for your home, your kitchen, your lifestyle.
It is very mild in the Wenatchee Valley. It was 54 degrees when this show started. We just hit 57 degrees. A lot of it has to do with the cloud cover. It was a very mild day yesterday. We hit 75. And then the clouds came in overnight, and that kind of held the heat in just like a blanket, which is why we're so mild. But the thing that really jumps out at me is our relative humidity. Right now it's 72%. That's pretty wet air, all things considered. But the relative humidity is going to be bone dry by the end of the day today, by about sunset, because not only is there a cold front that's barreling in, it's right on our doorstep. It'll be here by mid-afternoon. It's bringing in a whole bunch of really dry air. And usually October, our relative humidity is usually up there a little bit. Not the case as the strange weather pattern continues that we've had for months now. And because of the very low relative humidity and the fact that it's windy, there is a fire risk for our area, especially for fires that get going. Because, of course, we've had no rain or very little rain. We're in a drought, and all the natural vegetation is just bone dry. So hopefully, knock on wood, nothing will get going, because if it does, it could really get going. From the National Weather Service, lots of clouds this morning, sunshine this afternoon. It'll be cloudy most of the day. The sunshine won't be coming out till pretty later on in the afternoon. And a high of 71. Our normal high is 66, so it's still mild and quite windy. At times, we'll see gusts about 25 miles an hour in Wenatchee. Waterville and some other locations that are prone to wind, you're going to see gusts above 30 at times today. Clear tonight. Look at that overnight low, 39. The last time we were in the 30s in the Wenatchee Valley was all the way back on May 2nd. That was the last time we saw temperatures below 40 in the Wenatchee Valley. It's been a while. It's going to be chilly tonight. Also a little breezy as well. And then here we go. The coin flips right to the other side. Lots of sunshine, about a normal 67 for the afternoon high on Thursday. Friday warming up even more to 70, 74 Saturday, Sunday and Monday. We're heading into record high temperature territory. We've had a lot of those this year, especially that 78 degree on Monday, which, by the way, quick heads up, Monday is the federal holiday. It's Columbus Day. So remember, Monday, some folks aren't going to be working, but we will. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.